Hello, and welcome back to The Culture Shift with Jeroslyn Jovan, our podcast aimed at inspiring the leaders of tomorrow, brought to you by Black Enterprise. Here, we like to review the success stories of today's tastemakers to encourage those who dare to dream big. Today, we're going inside season 3 of Starz' hit series, BMF. The explosive new season continues the inspiring true story of real-life legends, brothers Demetrius Big Meech Flenory and Terry Southwest Flenory, as we parachute into the 90s with Meech's move to Atlanta to grow the BMF empire. Join me in welcoming stars from the show and their characters. Michole Briana White, who plays Lucille Flenory, Laila D. Pruitt, who plays Nicole Flenory, Neo, who makes his debut as Rodney Greeny Green, Cindy Mitchell, who plays LaWanda, LaLa, who plays Markisha, Da Vinci, who plays Terry Flenory, and Demetrius Lil Meech Flenory Jr., who returns as his father, Big Meech. I'll start with Laila. What can we expect from the show's transition from the 80s into the early 90s? Are there any, noticeable changes that we'll see?
For sure. I mean, obviously, one of the biggest changes is just the location. We're seeing DC as well as Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. So the sort of settings and the sort of fashion that comes with that, the hairstyles, the makeup, the fashions. I found that all the fashion grows with the characters as they grow along each season. So you have all that to look forward to.
Awesome, awesome. Michole, so season 2 was really interesting to see the dynamic between Charles and Lucille Flenory. So how are we seeing them navigate their marital woes in season 3? And what do you think will be the takeaway for viewers?
I'm not completely sure what the takeaway is going to be, but it is a rocky road to travel, with our relationship and trying things. And Lucille is really trying to find herself at this time. So she, dips and dabbles in a few things from time to time, and she's learning to empower herself this season. And I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing that.
Most definitely. And we know that this whole story of BMF is around family. Michole, what role does family play in season 3 as we see Demetrius expand the BMF empire to Atlanta?
I think the most wonderful and important thing about the show is family. And no matter what happens in each season, that's really the through line in any way, in the home, in friends. Friends play, a part of our families in many different ways. And I think that's one of the things that most people can relate to about the show.
LaLa, your character, Markisha, it was left on a huge cliffhanger, season 2. Season 3, we're picking back up as, she is facing a serious life-threatening injury. How will we see that mold into the overarching theme of season 3?
I think that the theme for her in season 3 is it worth it? Like, is this love, is this relationship worth it? Now, my life is in danger. Now I have children. I'm a mom. Like, what does that mean? So I think the stakes are a bit heavier now. It's no longer like, oh, I'm dealing with this guy and he got a baby mom and this. Now it's like, okay, I've been shot at. I'm in the hospital. Like, at what point is enough? And I think throughout the season, you see her grappling with those feelings and kind of like that inner turmoil. Like, how long am I going to continue doing this?
Yes, most definitely. For both of you, Da Vinci and LaLa, what will viewers get from your dynamic this season?
I feel like they're gonna get pure entertainment. I think they're gonna get laughter. When I watched the first episode, I ain't gonna lie, I was laughing my ass off at the end. Not because it's just like their situation is kind of like, yo, they were like Terry's wilding.
Right.
But it's like to watch them grow and to see how like her business side of things, like she actually knows what she be talking about for real. So it's gonna be interesting to where I think people's gonna be like, damn, I kind of see why like he's with her.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Sydney, what would you say we get from Terry's love triangle with LaWanda and Markisha? And what do you think viewers are learning from LaWanda's story?
Oh, I think they're learning who she really is, especially in this season. You know, I think she's gonna kind of pivot, you know, into being so up under Terry so much, and that's gonna be really fun to watch. But I think between the love triangle, people are just getting, you know, two different sides of two women who are in a situation. You know, we've a lot of us have been there as women in real life, you know, so they're getting that authenticity that, you know, it happens sometimes. Sometimes, you know, men kind of, you know, they do their thing. But, you know, like I said, it's authentic. Women can relate to it. And so I think that's what really draws the viewers in this season.
And Da Vinci, Terry didn't join Meech initially during his move to Atlanta, but how will we see the BMF empire expand in season 3?
Divide and conquer. I think they're gonna divide so each of them can start gaining more territory and more power, and then they're just gonna come back together, and it's just gonna ultimately make them stronger.
Mm-hmm. And then we're seeing this transition from the 80s into the 90s. I mean, fashion aside, I would think, are there any other noticeable changes that we'll get? And how was that change for you as a cast?
I think that the characters themselves become more confident. Like now they're stepping into who they are more because they've been for a while now. Meech and Terry having success and money for a while now. So there's a different swag. There's a different kind of bossiness that comes with that. Markisha now like understanding the dynamic between her and Terry, even as crazy as toxic as it is, her, you know, stepping into her boss role as like, this is a younger guy and I'm teaching him, and she's more confident in doing that. So I think maybe it's a different level of confidence with the characters.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then I think like each season you're gonna see like, you know, whereas in the 80s things were very like taboo, and it's like, you know, that was just so crazy to hear about. In the 90s it became more normal. In the 2000s it became more normal. So each season I feel like gets more, you know, promiscuous, and there's a lot of temptation going on. So it's gonna get really good.
Meech, I want to get started with you with my first question. Because season 3, we are seeing Big Meech's move to Atlanta. I want to ask you, how pivotal was this move on the BMF empire, and how are we going to see that translated in season 3?
The move was very pivotal because this was probably the biggest move of their journey. You know, the boys started in Detroit, but Meech grew to learn that Atlanta is the hub of the United States with all the freeways leading to all parts of the country, and that it would be better for the business to be in Atlanta. You know, he's trying to expand, and in the next step of expansion, you know, it has to be more of everything, you know, more product, more money, more ways to move it. And he figured out Atlanta is the best place for that. But his brother doesn't want to go. His brother doesn't agree with everything that Meech agrees with. So his brother decides to stay in their hometown while Meech has to go down there by himself and navigate through the city and meet different people without having his crew, without having his brother with him. He has to do all this alone by himself, you know, and he faces a lot of different obstacles. But this season shows you how he gets to overcome those obstacles by using different tactics, you know. Instead of resorting to violence, Meech is the type of guy that wants everybody to come together and make money together, and everybody can be happy and go home, you know. So we're going to be able to see this season how Meech is able, you know, to deal with all that.
Oh, you sold me already. You sold me on that. And Neo, what can you tell us about your character, Rodney Greeny Green, and how did you prepare for this role?
Greeny is, for lack of a better term, he's an entrepreneur. You know, he's a cat that's about making money, you know, elevating his financial situation by any means necessary, which means he's trustworthy as long as what you got to offer is servicing him in the same breath. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you know, if what you got to offer is ever not servicing him, you might want to watch your back. That's just the kind of cat that he is. Cats like that can be useful, but they can also be dangerous. So it's really about how the business is run, situation, and circumstance. I did a little bit of research. You know, the character is definitely based on a real person. So I did a little bit of research. I did a lot of talking to the writers, just about who this cat was and what he was about. As far as the look and the feel of him, they gave me a little bit of artistic leeway to kind of do what I wanted to do. The wig was their idea, and I was all for it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen myself in here for quite a while. I wanted to see what it looked like. And I got to say, after wearing that lace front, yeah, I ain't going to do it again. No, I ain't going to do it again. I mean, unless the role calls for it. But yeah, you ain't gonna see me just borrowing that thing on the weekend or nothing.
Right. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you with this lace front though, because it's something we haven't seen. So. Meech,
I've been lace front shawty all week at my mama.
Meech, I wanted to ask you, how does it feel being able to tell?
Go ahead.
No, you're good. How does it feel to be able to tell your family story in such a big way and humanize like your father and your uncle's journey?
It's been wonderful, man. It's been a wonderful experience. I was born in 2000, so this is all new to me. They were born in the 1970s, Detroit. So it's all a learning experience. I got to learn a lot about my family that I didn't know about, and when I came to set, it was like a class. Like I was getting taught everything about my roots, about my family that I didn't know. And with that, I get to play my father and still live up to his name, which is a lot, so it really has been fun. I'm just blessed, the Starz and Lionsgate, let me be able to tell my family story. I'm blessed that 50 gave me the chance. He believed in me from the start and I got it done, and I showed him I can do it. I just want to keep being successful, keep excelling.
Yes, you will. I'm so looking forward to season 3. Thank you guys so much. Neo with the lace front. All right, we'll be tuned in. Bye, guys.